to talk about the Titanic, people. So,
Yes.
so I guess James Cameron back in the day pioneered that whole going down to the Titanic thing. He was one of the very first to go down there, and then they made the movie and everything. And since then, nobody's really gone down very much until the last 2 or 3 years, and they commercialized it. And now people are going down like mad, like all the time. They're sending people down to this thing. It's expensive. It's $250,000 a seat, and they got like 4 or 5 seats to sell, and then maybe a pilot, I'm presuming. And they went down the other day. It's 13,000 feet of water plus, by the way, in the North Atlantic, and they lost them. And the news is like, we hope they find them. The search continues, and I'm like, wait, see, they're 13,000. Let me see the ship. Hey, they're dead. They're all dead. What are y'all doing? We're wasting our time. They're 96
so dead. Hours of air, right?
Oh, what I mean is they're going to die. Like if I send you into deep space with 96 hours of air, same situation. They're dead. They're dead.
And it's like they're searching for them. Like, what are they searching for them with? Sonar?
Yeah.
Another.
They've got the Navy's there, right? Like, but it won't matter. They won't.
So
find
this sub basically was. I saw the tourists paid like $200,000 or something absurd to go down in this honestly shitty looking little thing that didn't have enough windows for what if you're paying to, you need windows.
Are you used to better submarines, Taylor?
You would, if let's say this, let's say you and I both pay $250,000 and we're down by the Titanic and I go, hey, Woody, do you mind moving so I can get a chance to look out the porthole? That's infuriating. There should be. If I get bored of the Titanic, there should be movies in theaters currently that I can pull down a little thing with and start watching.
Who wants to see the movie Titanic? It's playing in the back.
There should be food. You think you start watching the movie in the back? But basically, so this thing failed somewhere close to the Titanic. Did they even?
It goes to 13,000 feet below the surface, and Taylor's like, need more windows.
Look, what are you going to see? You're going to all huddle around the front and look?
So
maybe a screen
with this
door?
picture, like those four tanks around the side aren't part of it. And then obviously the big flat aluminum. There we go. Yeah, there's not a lot to this motherfucker. They are dead.
So that thing stopped working. It's sitting on the ocean floor.
They don't know what happened. No, they lost contact. They don't know where it is, Taylor, there are 2 huge ocean currents, one coming from the south and one coming down from the north that pass right through here. They don't know where these guys are. They're halfway to England
or something.
GPS, they're under 2 miles of water.
I guess 2 miles. That's a good amount of water.
Yeah. Do you still have service 2 miles?
They're in a blackness you can't even fathom.
Titanic wreck site?
Man, you're right. They're in trouble. Yeah, man. What do you think the moment was like when they're like, "This is our tomb"? Or like, because there's no way I saw some shit that was like, they've got air for another 14 hours. And it's like, no, they don't. Like, there is no way.
I bet they're in there right now panicking. My money would be they're in there right now going, well, we're dead. Anybody want to fuck?
Oh my God. I was just waiting for, I was like, we got 10 hours to live. And I could still get it up.
Wait, did it just stopped working, or there was damage?
It's hard. They should make a movie about it because they do this all the time.
Oh,
like what was the one with Marky Mark, or whatever his name was?
The Perfect Storm, where they imagined the whole sword fishing trip. But in this, like a portal opens up and they went down into the center of the earth, did all sorts of exploring down there, and the other realm, the Upside Down.
Did you see the controller the guy was using to direct that submarine? Literally Mad Catz.
Yeah.
A Mad Catz controller.
Why wouldn't it be though?
I mean,
because the stock controllers are better.
$250K, yeah, at least.
He had longer thumbsticks on it. He had like control freaks made, but
control freaks on it.
He really did. He had these long, like custom made control freaks on it.
Maybe that was his first mission with the control freaks. Threw him off a little bit. The angles.
I mean,
I think it's the submarines. They, in Walmart when you go to play the games, how they have that thing the Xbox controller's stuck to, like that flexible thing. I've seen that same setup in submarines with an Xbox controller. You know, like they don't reinvent the wheel when it comes to those controllers. They use video game controllers in the military a lot.
Do you think like for the submarine, like A, B, do you think they do stuff like boost?
Yeah, that's your B is your turbo mode for the nuclear submarine.
Yeah.
How do they drop a turtle shell out the back? That's the whopper.
Yeah, they keep doing the oil slick.
R3. You gotta click the thumbstick in. Everybody misses that one.
Yeah. What they need to do to get out of this is up, down, left, right, A, B, down, up, left, right.
That's all weapons. That's going to get them nowhere.
No, that will. That's either with subs or a finishing move in Mortal Kombat. It's one of those.
Yeah, they're so dead. A shame.
Stepson of missing billionaire attends Blink-182 concert amid rescue efforts. Good gosh.
He looks so fucking on the
of
spectrum,
the billionaire.
Dude. It was this chunky dude, and the text reads something like, probably not cool to be here right now, but this is how. Oh, you got it. Oh, yeah, that's him. That's the picture of him at the. Look at the smile. It's like about to inherit some money.
Wait, who? That's one of the trapped guys?
No, that's his stepson, who's at a Blink-182 concert right now, posting on like Facebook and Twitter, like, probably shouldn't be here right now, but gotta support the Blink. It was something like that. Oh, that's terrible. Well, I'm glad I wasn't on that fucking tomb sent miles beneath the water to die and suffocation, hopefully.
Yeah.
Not a giant squid ripping it apart until the water just gushes in.
That'd be faster.
It would. It's scarier.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's already such a scary place to be. The bottom of the sea. Just hoping, like, I would be down there like, there has to be some technology. Perhaps a larger submarine.
There is. Like the Navy has all that stuff. They're looking for them. The Navy has stuff they can go down there and grab them, bring them up, dock with them. Maybe not with them because of what that is, but it can dock with like real submarines.
You know what they should do?
They go down sometimes.
Take another version of that same submarine, put it in the same area, direct it the same way, and then see where that one goes.
Drop it in to see what happens.
Yeah, that is. Now we know which way to go.
Do we know where it was when we lost it?
No,
that's the
challenge.
Losing.
I lost him again.
It's like Kyle lost his keys. Okay, Kyle, where did you leave them?
Yeah, it's so not helpful. Just asking people where's the last thing you remember putting it. Well, I haven't checked there yet. Like,
I know, right?
I was looking in my neighbor's closet, like being quiet, poking around their trash in front of their house.
Usually when I've completely lost something, it's fallen out of my pocket in a chair or a car. That's almost this chair. Even like my phone can fall out and fall like a perfect fucking sliver down into the crevice of this thing, and it's invisible. It's just perfectly hidden. So those people obviously went down exploring for the Titanic this week and died. And what I was most surprised by, like, the internet's always a dark place. There's always going to be like some people who make some mean jokes about it, but everybody seems to think it's real funny that some billionaires like died this week, and it's like, haha, the billionaires suffered and died.
Why didn't you pull yourself up out of the water with your bootstraps?
Yeah. And it's like,
yeah.
I don't get it. Like, why do people actually hate billionaires? Like maybe there's one billionaire in particular you don't like. Like, oh, I don't like Elon Musk. I don't like what he does, or I don't like fucking Donald Trump, whatever. But anyone with money, we hate.
Mr. Beast could like cure cancer, but if he had a hot dog earlier, someone would point out he has mustard on his shirt and he's a piece of shit. Probably.
Yeah, he gets so much hate. They're like, Mr. Beast is a bastard. Look at him sadistically curing deafness in children for views.
It's like, all ego.
It is for views. You're brilliant. You mean he was making YouTube content to reach the widest audience possible? You really cracked the case here. What a piece of shit. What a scumbag. Like,
it's all ego though. Like it's if you're doing too well or if you're doing really bad, people will either kick you. People will kick you on both ends of the spectrum, Yeah. I try to just stay in the middle. So this is why I'll never be a billionaire.
Yeah, the reason that like people
that's why I've avoided that trap as well.
Like
that's like when people are like, I'll go to the gym, but I don't want to get too big. It's like, I'll work hard, but I don't want to be a billionaire.
I don't want to be too good looking or too rich. People will hate on me.
Yeah, I'm gonna wake up one morning and these abs are gonna be offensively large. It's gonna be out of nowhere, and I'm gonna have to eat pizzas to correct it.
I saw the bathroom in the submarine was 2 bottles and some Ziploc bags.
Ooh.
Yeah, by that logic, I have a bathroom right under my utensil drawer in my kitchen. There's bags and all sorts of things.
I have a bathroom right next to me. If that's the case, yeah.
I saw that the American subs only go 1,500 feet down. It was like 1,550. And that surprised me because this thing was like 12,000 feet down. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Damn, it's really deep.
Did you see the?
There's only like all
window.
subs only go like that comparatively short distance down. The only other vessel that can go down that deep apparently is owned by Gabe, like Newell, who invented steam. He has it's got a cool name also, and it's like the Deep Sea Explorer, and he has the world record for deepest descents in all 5 oceans.
Yeah, it's called like the Triton or something.
I was so lost. Owned by Gabe, and then you said his last name, which I didn't gather, and then you said he invented steam.
Yeah,
I'm like, wasn't that invented like a really long time?
You mean Archimedes?
No, he was the first to harness it.
I'm like, how does a man invent steam?
You know what's fun? Like the Gabe Newell like sub, I saw exactly what you're talking about, Kyle. Yeah. And when you see a picture of Gabe Newell's sub, Triton or whatever it's called, you can tell it's a real submarine. Like it's like, none of that was from Home Depot. That was from like wemakesubs.org. Like all the pieces were special ordered. Like you can see the picture here. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Looks real and secure. There's a million cameras and things. When I watched a 20-minute video of course, on YouTube, there's everything. There's a guy with like 150,000 subs who's like, I'm the sub man. He's a sub expert. And I watched a 20-minute video of him from like 3 days ago. And literally he was like, these people are dead. Like there is a lot of discussion about air being left and how that would work, but they are dead. Like the window was rated for 1,500 meters and they are 12,000 feet down. They were crushed instantly. The idea they're rationing air is silly. Like, and at the end of that video, I was kind of like, yeah, but this guy, he is the submarine man. And it does make sense that like, what was it just hanging out down there thousands of feet?
Sounds like he was right about everything.
Yeah. It seems
they found the wreckage, right? Like you're up to speed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are they sure it's the wreckage?
Yeah, they're pieces of it. Like it's like the standing gear and stuff.
Yeah, apparently it imploded and the people died instantly. They're just done. Then they said they died instantly.
They would.
Ago.
Yeah, it's sad to see all the backlash because it's like for one, it takes a certain amount of bravery to do that. I think like I wouldn't fucking do it.
No, not that.
So I don't know. It's just armchair people. Like Twitter's just fucking cancer.
Yeah, it's so analogous to the action. And I mean, this is not a novel take. I've seen so many people talking about it. Like it's so similar to the Titanic itself. Like the guy in charge of it was told, like, this is not safe. Like this is going to kill you. And they fired that guy and settled outside of court. And like he knew, like apparently the first test they did, they just lost communication at like 3,000 feet or whatever, 3,000 meters, whatever it was. Like that's like, and then just getting back in and going and doing again. Like I couldn't wrap my mind around the video I watched where he's like, and it's a Bluetooth controller. And I'm like, I know nothing about subs, but this is a bad idea, sir. And the CEO, he was like, we know it's a Logitech dog shit 2-star on Amazon device. And the guy's like, this is something that's made to be beaten around by 16-year-olds. And he like lightly throws it to show how durable it is. And he's like, we got multiple other controllers here just in case. And it's like, oh, okay.
I got mad.
That's where you want to have a Bluetooth pairing issue is at the bottom of the sea. Like
I had no problem with the controller. I don't get why people have an issue with it. I have seen Xbox controllers in multi-billion-dollar pieces of United States military equipment.
It's wired.
It's what we use.
Everything. They don't do wireless shit for like submarines. They don't like things.
Well, look, I don't know about if it's wireless. That seems like an oversight. Insane. I'd want to let's plug that bitch in and make sure. Yeah, let's come on. But all the same,
batteries.
Oh my god! If you batteries low, we'll be fine. We're gonna be down there for 2 hours. Don't worry, it's on red, but we're fine. I'll lick them.
Does anybody have a Walkman? Perhaps that I could borrow your Duracell.
I need 18 AAA batteries.
Yes.
So the official statement, like, did they at a certain point did they know they were dying, or did they just fucking implode randomly?
If it implodes, you're just dead.
Mike, I'm just guessing here, but that's how they make movies. That on its way down, it was just sinking. They all knew they were in trouble, and then implode dead.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's
It's
not that
seemingly
bad.
like if it implodes and it's carbon fiber, like they said that makes it just absolutely instant because it shatters. And so it's just powderized.
Well, if the window broke, it just immediately threw them under. At 12,000 feet, it's probably 6,000 psi. So, I mean, that an oxygen cylinder that we play paintball with, like the scary carbon fiber wrap ones, are 3,000 psi. They're like double that at that depth. And so they just, I don't know what happens to a human body, but we have seen that. I think there's a video. There's definitely images of those. There's 2 or 3 of those submersion divers. The ones who do like they live at that deep depth where they're doing the welding and stuff, and someone operated the airlock improperly. Like they would have had to have ignored like 2 or 3 warnings, but they opened the pressure seal and everybody was pressured to, I don't know, a couple thousand psi, and they just explode. They just like,
apparently what happens like this far down
chunks.
I was reading, and who knows if this is true or not, but because I'd never considered it. Apparently, like it's so much psi that it like compresses the air so violently that it like is an explosion down there, and so like your body would just be gooified, like just it's just like an explosion. You're just.
I think of all the little critters on the bottom of the ocean eating them. Probably.
It's still better than like 95% of the deaths that people get. Like. Yeah, I think dying in general sucks.
Yeah,
these guys got an instant one like that,
and it's cool. I mean, they did something like very brave.
It is cool. Yeah, I think that people are overlooking that.
People are just shitty. Like,
yeah, you're 100% right about that.
I'd rather go to space.
Like, why would people want to go down? It's like, yeah, that's not my area of interest. But if you're an explorer, it makes 100% sense.
People climb Mount Everest.
People climb. Why do people climb mountains? Why do you go to the bottom of the? Because they're adventurers.
I saw this fucking. It was really cool. This video of it was Everest, and it's this woman kind of freaking out, and some guys like telling her to like stop freaking out. But then, they're climbing Everest, and like someone's sliding down. Because they've like passed out and they're sliding down the mountain. Like I saw that video a couple months ago, I think on Twitter. But so people die climbing. Oh yeah. There was one guy up there that I think they just called him like green boots or something because he froze to death and he's just they can't get him off. He's frozen to the mountain.
I mean, nobody wants him either.
Yeah.
Apparently, green boots is an important landmark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
so like people want to challenge themselves. People want to explore. I mean, if they die, they die. So.
That seems like
I don't buy that you can't get the bodies or clean if you wanted to. Like, I feel like people are always like, I got other things to do. I'm trying to climb Everest.
Sherpas. Like you don't even have to do it. You just have to show up there with enough money to pay Sherpas to, instead of hauling 200 pounds of gear, take a trash can with you and come back with it full.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. There are people who do that for a living and
or burn that
probably
shit.
Don't care very much.
Take 20 gallons of fuel up there, pile that shit up and melt it. I don't think there's going to be an environmental impact. Let's just melt it down right up there. Go up it's close to you're on Mount Everest. It's going to make stars instantly.
All right, that's a solid point.
Why do we want the bodies removed? Like, it's kind of a good reminder.
I was thinking more the garbage.
It's a good, just skulls everywhere as you get up the
makes
Everest.
It's not even skulls, just like frozen, dead-eyed, glassy faces. Just like some guy like in mid-scream.
Oh yeah, I guess there wouldn't be skulls.
I just passed the screaming child. We're almost to the top.
I wonder what their bodies look like up there. I bet they're pretty well.
They're very preserved. Yeah, I think. Yeah, there wouldn't even be skulls. I don't think.
Well, freezer burn, but
yeah. They get that thing where it's like the skin's still there, but it's like like the lips are like black and like burned and like freezer burned.
It probably looked like wax, I'd imagine, but I've never seen a frozen dead body. So
yeah, I've only seen frozen dead bodies. I went on a big like
looking at one right now.
YouTube rabbit hole where I just was like reading lists and like reading everyone who's died on Everest and like the pictures of them, and then some of them are like, that's Orange Belt. We don't know who Orange Belt is, and no one's ever turned him over. So we're never going to know who Orange Belt is.
These bodies are not as attractive as I expected.
No, not sexy at all, huh?
Dead.
Well, I mean, I'd do them, but it's hard.
Gross.
It'd be tough.
Freezing.
It'd be one of my tougher ejaculates.
Dude, that sub. I've been thinking so much about that sub thing of like, I know me that I wouldn't have got on that craft to go 50 feet down. Like I'm not saying that I'm terrified of like the idea of it. If it was Gabe Newell's one and I saw that, I'd be like, I'm comfortable with this. Oh, there's YouTube videos I can find of this thing doing what we're about to do successfully. Like, okay, let's do that. This other thing, yeah. Like I'd go down a little bit and I don't want to go all the way down.
What if this guy had a YouTube video? Like he probably did, right? But this wasn't the maiden voyage, was it?
They had never had a successful voyage this far.
I thought they'd been going up and down for years.
Not that far.
Someone on Reddit said he had done it a few times and they lost communication every time he did it. But I mean, it's the guy on Reddit. I don't know.
Yeah, it's also the guy on Reddit. They don't know. It's the guy who found the Boston bomber.
Well, I would much rather go to like space than although $250,000 to go down the Titanic is a lot different than what was it to fly up on the Soyuz back in the day. The Russians were charging $20 million, I think. 10, 20 million, something like that. Yeah, to go up in the International Space Station.
In space. Like at least going down in the ocean, you're gonna see like all the cool, or hopefully you'll see cool deep fish and stuff you don't see otherwise.
I'm on the other team, Taylor. I think in the ocean your visibility is like 6 feet, even with good light.
I was gonna say, I think space has aliens too, man. Like
and in space, your visibility is like a million miles.
But what else can you look at up there?
Aliens.
The Earth.
Look at the other
stars,
planets,
the moon,
the Earth, and then you go, man, that's nice. What else you got up here? And you're like, shit. 3 minutes in, and he's asking what else we have. You know,
I saw this from my parents.
You already clogged the shitter.
Yeah. Honestly, the photoshopped pictures NASA posts on Twitter are way better. This looks like shit. Like getting mad that it's not as good as the Photoshop NASA pictures.
You brought your binoculars, Woody. Now you can see 35 times larger than before. So now it's only 1 trillion miles away. Great.
Yeah, you stare into the blackness of space. Wow, neat.
I wouldn't say I've almost died exploring, but I did go on a really remote like wilderness hike to this big waterfall, and brought my camera with me, like a professional deal, and nearly dropped it. And in my haste to grab the camera, because it's fucking expensive, I slipped. The camera's fine, but I slipped and fell on a rock, like just feet went out from under me, back hit the rock, and I was like this close from hitting my head. Pretty close. Slipped, fell into the waterfall, like ravine or whatever, and started like floating down the river. And I'm like, oh shit, this is not good. But I could have, I'm out there alone, nothing out there, nobody for miles. So
you would have been on really first bad. 48.
Yeah, and after that, I'm like, well,
I shouldn't be alive.
Yeah,
I shouldn't be alive.
I was that close that if I knocked myself out, could have drowned, that
would have been such a terrible way to die.
Yeah.
What?
Like, I just mean, I don't mean like the experience of dying that way. I mean like falling down and dying in such a meaningless way.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think a lot of us get to have some go out with a bang Marvel movie ending. I think. I mean, you could arrange that. You could head over to Ukraine. Like you make that happen now.
I'm going to build a wildly unsafe submarine where I'm like 80. That's how I'm going to go.
It's just
what are you going to be exploring, though? Like, what's the gimmick? What are you going down there to look for?
I'm going to explore the wreckage of the Titan.
It's just a chain of people dying over and over. I'm going to explore the wreckage that explored the Titan.
It's like
but you're not a billionaire, so one rowboat.
We can't find the sub. We sit in to find the sub. We sit in to find the
sub. I've got a hefty bag over the windows, like it's like someone's car without insurance.
Taylor just goes, "No, it's okay. I'm the sub guy. I'm the sub guy. I'm the sub guy."
I watched a YouTube video, and this is the strongest PVC they sell in the for sale aisle at Lowe's.
How strong does PVC hold up against?
I mean, a couple 100 pounds.
Not enough for a sub.
I did some plumbing.
I mean, water's regularly like 150 psi in places, like so way beyond that. All right, I'm gonna guess 800 psi for like 1 inch PVC.
600 is my guess. Ooh, 300 to 600.
Yeah, there you go.
Facts.
Facts. Now I know.
What about CPVC?
Yeah, what about it? No, don't look it up.
It's the same thing, but for heat. I don't know if it's stronger or not. That's what CVPC is, right?
Well, we'll
for
get
heat?
to the bottom of it.
All right. I haven't.
Yeah, they do that like twist it, bop it, squeeze it game, and they're so goddamn. I can do like 6 levels in. They're going 12 deep.
The internet has chimps at third.
I'm gonna make a sub that you control.
Third?
Bop it.
Yeah.
Bop it. Twist it.
Sink it. No.
Bop it. Twist it. Pull it. Everybody's just freaking out.
Bop it as a submarine control is my favorite joke of the night.
Captain, you're sinking too quickly. Pop it. Pull it. Twist it.
Says the 19-year-old passenger on the submersible didn't want to go and was terrified, but agreed to do it for his dad on Father's Day.
No,
dude, that is sincerely heartbreaking. That's
shitty. Yeah,
that's horrible.
Yeah. What about that one guy though, whose stepdad was down there, and he was like at Blink 182, just like, "Hey, I'm all about the Blink. That's all I know." What? They were like, "Dude, your father's at the bottom of the Atlantic. Why aren't you there?" You know, Blink 182 has been there for me throughout my life, through some hard times. I think the best place for me right now is with the Blink. And it's a picture of him giving the most awkward smile at the concert. Oh, it's great. He's just a chubby white guy. It's like one of those full body awkward pictures that you took in high school. It's great. But yeah, dad's at stepdad, I guess, at the bottom of the Atlantic in his
Why was there
submersible.
ever like? Why did everybody agree to pretend these people have been alive this long? Like,
I thought
these people have obviously been dead for days.
Taylor, I wasn't pretending. I heard the tapping stories and believed it, and
I definitely
that was the kid, yeah.
The tapping thing, like, I don't get it, but like,
turns out it was never true. There's probably some dolphin clicking.
Merman.
Yeah, it's probably something happening in the sea. Sound carries so far in water and all that. Like, who knows
how they detected it?
But like the fact that like all I had to do was watch that one video of the dude talking about it, where he's like, "So the window is rated for 1,500 meters," and it's like, and they were at 10,000. It's like, oh, they're dead. Like they're so far past dead.
See,
they were.
But you're assuming
already.
that was the problem when it's been down there many times before, and that window held up. Yeah, they've made the trip before with that window, and it's been fine. The prop, it could have easily been like their Bluetooth quit working and we're out of contact, and they can't like pop their ballast and surface, or that they got caught in an their fans turned off and the current pulled them down, and now they're at the surface 3 miles away in their watercolored boat.
The thing is, he was lying about having done that like all the way down by the Titanic before. They had never done that. Like,
are you sure? Because I've seen videos of them down there. Who is that? Who's down there?
Not in that bullshit little thing. They're in a real awesome submarine when they're down there, and it's got arms, and it's Gabe Newell's in it.
Guys, just wait for the Netflix adaptation.
You're right.
Happen.
Yes. You're right.
It'll tell us everything we need to know.
I want to claim a small victory over the submarine talk that we were having the other night.
Okay.
I kept saying, yeah, they could find human remains. They found the wreckage, so why wouldn't they find some human remains? I think Chiz was like, and she was like, oh no, the bones will like liquefy. And I was like, no, like maybe eventually, like 7 or 8 miles, they'll liquefy or like crush or do something. But no, there'd be bones and like goo and stuff. And not everything's just going to evaporate into nothing. There's skull and bones and teeth and shit. And yeah, they found them today. They found the fucking wreckage. They pulled it up and there's chunks of people in it.
Really?
I want to see the chunks of people. I wonder what they look like. Because I actually had
show you the chunks of billionaires.
It doesn't diminish my desire to see them.
If they were broke, they'd show it to you. But these are billionaires now.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
I was always shocked we got to see Osama.
Tent imploded. We totally see it.
Yeah.
Look what happened in here.
Gross. Shit everywhere.
I don't know what I would have predicted for the remains, because I heard that like it imploded in like a nanosecond, and this guy who was probably full of shit was like, your brain takes 0.2 seconds to register anything, and these guys died in 0.1. So the good news is they died before.
I'm willing to bet you're on edge when your sub's about to blow up. And
I'm willing to bet everything he said is horse shit. That there is no standard as to how long things take to recognize, and I doubt they died so quick that they didn't know it was coming. But anyway, I do buy the idea that implosion happened very quickly. And I don't know what to predict would be inside. Maybe the people turn into some sort of fluid that washes away.
I mean, it was so many
just expel 'em.
atmospheres of pressure that I would imagine that they would not be conscious for any part of that sub being filled with water. Like, not even close.
Yeah, I think if it's just a big pop, then I think as soon as it hits them, there's no agony. I would say that.
Yeah, it's a great way to go, dude. We all have to go some way. Like, shit.
I'm not afraid of pain. I'm afraid of agony, right? Like I don't want to lay there rolling around. My guts are hanging out. I watched that Ukrainian shit, and I'm like, this is not for me. This is rough. You see guys in agony over there on both sides, and it's not fun.
I see a drone drop a grenade on someone, and this is clearly a fatal hit. And then the next grenade just seems gratuitous. It just seems like
we brought two.
Dude, did you have
just a waste of money
twice? He was probably going to die. He definitely wasn't going to fight again. Why'd you nade him again?
Why did the Bermuda Triangle? I remember when I was a kid, the Bermuda Triangle was a hugely dangerous, big news zone that I heard about regularly.
That or quicksand was going to get me.
Yeah, every 80s TV show.
Triangle being huge.
Oh, yeah. You were scared to death of that. If you were going to, I don't care. If you're going to the Virgin Islands or wherever, don't fly over the Bermuda Triangle.
I have not heard about it in 20 years. Like, I haven't heard about something going down in the Bermuda Triangle.
I think we all got GPS and it fixed that whole problem.
Just go around.
Go around. It's like how Seinfeld doesn't work if they all have a cell phone the whole goddamn time. Like, same thing for Bermuda Triangle. You give all those boats, planes, and shit GPS. It's like, it disappeared. No, it went down right fucking here. Drunk captain every time.
Yeah,
it's dangerous on the fucking water. People go down and never come back. I'm terrified of the water. I would rather go to space. I find that less terrifying than deep within the ocean.
I find them parallels. In space, it gets you a little more alone. It's easier to get rescued in the water, but it's the same sort of like, this craft is a life support system that I absolutely need, and it's really under-equipped for the task.
Yeah, you're in a bubble no matter what.
The whole ocean's pushing on it.
I don't know. The deep ocean's pretty fucking spooky too. The shit you see down there, the creatures down there, the different evolution down there is so bizarre.
That's what
for the longest time we were like misunderstanding when they first started like pulling up all those deep sea fish. Like scientists and people were like, "There's a bunch of hideously ugly fish at the bottom of the sea," and it's like, actually, they're normal looking, actually kind of spooky fish. It's dragging them up through a million atmospheres of pressure for them, just gooifying them into like a fat blobfish or a blobfish. Yeah,
they called it the blobfish. I don't think it looks like that when it's down below,
have you seen a picture of it like in the sea? It doesn't.
They call it the sexy fish now. Yeah. Down below, it's very handsome. See, it's dying a painful. It's dying a painful death right now.
Oh, it's
like oh, well, fair.
Yeah.
It died a painful death there.
Yeah, see, it's never swimming.
Like a courtroom fucking artist drawing what a fish would look like in the wild.
Tell
Zach's
me what the
pulling
man
up
who
pictures of my
approached you
high
in the
school
alley looked
girlfriends.
like.
What the fuck?
My God, it looks like a burn victim that got a new face.
Is that what it looks like? Taylor, you assured me it was attractive underwater.
No, not an attractive. This is a one that's been pulled up.
That's a handsome fish.
It looks more normal fish. It's not a good looking fish. It looks more like it doesn't have this like pussy, like outside
raw chicken look.
Yeah,
there
something
you go.
like
There's
this.
Okay,
there's a fish.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a looker.
No, I mean, like
you're gonna you can tell the look on his face. Please don't take me up there.
Yeah,
yeah.
That
I mean,
fish only managed to mate because it's in the darkness.
Yeah, well, it's like drawing a fish from memory. The first three ones, so like this guy right here, that one we just showed you. Now draw him. You're like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, it has little spikes on it. You can tell that's for something. It's a real fish. You know?
What is the temperature down there?
It's got to be
cold,
terrible. It's got to be freezing.
Right?
Is it balls?
Yeah.
Is it below freezing? That sounds crazy, but pressure does things to melting or freezing, doesn't it?
And salt. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, and salt. That's true also. Yeah.
I don't. Damn, this is one of those questions that I'm like, I don't know, but I should probably. How fucking cold?
Oh, right, Taylor. I think less of you, quite frankly. If you don't know the temperature at the bottom of the Marianas Trench, kind of fucking person.
39 degrees, he says.
You'd be surprised how useful that is most of the time.
39 degrees or 4 Celsius.
Conversation at the bank.
Ian Zierig from 90210 called yesterday, and he was like, Travis Bell, Ian Zierig. I'm like, Sharknado. It is like 90210. I'm like, okay. And he goes,
was he in Sharknado also?
He was the main character of Sharknado. He was, and there's they use his license plate from 90210, which says I ate a Ferrari 4RE, and they used it in Sharknado. So he, whenever he goes and does Comic Cons, he sits there and signs license plates. So,
but he prefers the association of 90210 than that.
Yeah, probably. But Sharknado was kind of fun for him. So
they're still making them. I'm not sure how that. Really? Yes, yeah. I don't know how that thing took off and became a sort of so wacky and bad. It's good, and people wanted to see him. Although I'm going to watch the Meg 2. I want to see Jason Statham attack that giant megalodon again. Did you see the preview for that?
I don't know what Meg 1 is.
Okay, so the idea is that there's a megalodon and it's
giant shark, right?
In modern times, and Jason Statham has to fight it. Well, in the second, he killed the first one. And
of course he did.
You need Jason Statham for that.
You gotta remember he was an Olympic diver. Don't forget, okay? He has aquatic skills.
That's going to be integral.
In the
who's got him on speed dial? Like, dude, Megalodon, call Jason Statham. Like,
I'll do it. Like, what's he gonna do? Like,
how does he kill it? Is it a knife fight?
All right, so in the preview, obviously there's just like it's preview.
Is there a pun about making it extinct?
He's on a jet ski, like revving the jet ski up, and he's got like a bunch of what look like lances or ballistas on his back and a quiver, and he's gonna like throw them at the shark, or like maybe they're like explosive tipped or something, but he's like riding at the shark like full speed
on a Sea-Doo.
On a Sea-Doo, yeah, and he's in his wetsuit with all the missiles on his back.
Is he shirtless a lot? He's 56. Can he still do shirtless lead acting parts?
I'm sure he can. I mean, I don't see why not. He's always been super fit. And like I said, he was an Olympic athlete.
Yeah.
Was he really? Did you?
Yeah, he was a diver.
Oh, I thought that was part of his character you just made up for the movie.
No. I'm saying that's why. Look at that
big shark.
What in the heck?
Oh, he's on a dock.
See, he's kicking
him in the nose. Foot up.
He's kicking it in the nose when they're sensitive.
The most, that's like the most pristine dock I've ever seen in my life. Right? Board, it's broke.
Look at the CGI nails that are stuck in the bottom right corner. Yeah, I don't know about that. But yeah, there you go. This is from Meg 2. See, he's got this like these like little.
Did he fail to kill it the first movie, or is there a second one?
If I remember correctly, he killed it in the first movie, but clearly there are more of them, and I think perhaps an entire ecosystem of gargantuan beasts, deep within the Earth's oceans.
I bet it's like they find out that like first one I killed was it baby, and then like this one's gonna be even more ridiculously large. Yeah. Well, thank God he's on the case. Man, what a stupid ass movie.
You know what?
Watch it. Kind of neat.
It's one of those movies that is Chinese produced. So there's the ubiquitous, unexplained, pretty Chinese lady who's there for all the technical stuff, who has a little bit of an accent, but not much. Yeah,
I'm good with
the blue whale. Is the biggest animal to have ever existed on Earth in all of Earth time. It happens now. Mm-hmm. It's I see that megalodon, and I'm like, blue whales are bigger, and they're real, and you can see.
Yeah, and blue whales though aren't scary. Like we're not even on their radar. Like if they're going by you, right? Like they
and you don't have to call Jason Statham when you see a blue whale. Like,
no. Kill one though.
He could kill one, and he'd go to prison.
He could.
I would imagine you can't just kill blue. Or where would you go to prison? You're in the middle of the ocean. They're probably just really hard to kill.
Put him in one of those water.
What Zach is killing it with the pictures tonight. Dude, he's just been on board with cars and license plates, and now
way to be there, Zach. Let's.
So what does he have? Like some sort of search engine? I don't know how he does it.
Oh, come on! He's been Johnny on the spot. There's even a
no. I love it. He's great. I'm saying you're.
Yeah. You know what? There could be something bigger than the blue whale. We don't not that exists now, unless it's.
I wonder
really
if there's some squid or something like Portuguese
Like a
man of war, like
squid.
not heavier but longer.
They talk about how little of the ocean is discovered. Like there's got to be millions of things we don't know about. Like,
Yeah, but they're all
ancient
stupid,
stuff.
right?
It could be cool. We don't
Maybe.
know.
Like, oh yeah, this fish is just like some other fish, but slightly different. We haven't seen.
But like
That's
150 years ago, they didn't know about all those cool like bioluminescent things, at the very bottom that had like anglerfish and all that. Like they just
Yeah.
I don't know
didn't
why they
about-
glow in the dark. They should have seen them.
Well, they didn't go down far enough. But now we
There-
go down far enough and we go, oh, look at these the deepest sea fish. That's just the deepest sea fish so far. There's
And then the sub you're in implodes, and then it's over.
yeah, and then you don't even get to see the Titanic, and you'll be like
No.
a side point on a
Don't
future tour.
crowd fund your submersible and everything will be fine.
No, crowd
all
funding
the other cool
submersible.
billionaires
Mixed
have good
materials.
submersibles. At
Yeah.
first, they made it seem like this was a one of a kind submersible, and like, oh, it goes deeper than anything. And it was like, yeah, except for that one that James Cameron has. Oh, and the one that the Oceanography Institute has, and the Navy. Oh man, the Navy goes so deep. And
Wait, the Navy has one?
I think they've got like the little drones that go down for submarine rescue.
That
To,
makes
like,
sense.
Isn't there some guy
try to
who like was a video game or like a tech guy who has a ridiculous sub? He like,
Yeah.
owns the
Gabe
record for the
Notch,
lowest one.
right?
Is it
Isn't
not?
Is it Notch or is it Gabe Newell
It's
from
Gabe.
Gabe Newell. It's Gabe Newell. He,
Yeah.
I think you guys told me he owns the record in every single sea for lowest guy. To
Yeah.
Really?
At one
That's
point, he held that. I
That's
don't know if that's
incredible,
been
isn't it?
surpassed.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That's such a rich person's hobby.
Yeah, but that's sweet to be like
I'm
just to
gonna check out
see
the
that
Mariana
James,
Trench.
like he's just like he has nothing better to do in life than to be like James Cameron just took my record in the Indian Ocean. Not for long, and then so he's just gonna do that.
Yes, we'll be like, we shall dive now.
Yeah, we shall dive because you all work for me on this yacht because I'm a
I wonder what the
billionaire.
pressure is in the sub when they go down. Like how? I don't know.
What do you mean?
It would have to be consistent.
You
You mean
inside
in the
whole way.
sub?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Like,
then you
I
it
bet
takes
it gets
2 hours to go
pressurized
down.
in there.
But
Yeah,
takes
one
Do you think it's
10
one
hours to go up.
atmosphere?
Yeah, like this is. We're under like 16 psi or something.
Oh, I don't
12,
think so.
60.
Like I think I've seen them shake a soda and open it, and the bubbles don't even come
Oh.
out because you've seen that too, right?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I'd like to know. And also, I have an altitude watch. If you take a plane up, you're at like 8,000 feet. Like that's the equivalent air pressure for when you fly in an airplane at
I've flown in
32,000.
not a private jet, but a private prop plane when we went
Mhm.
from like here to PA that time to do some stuff. And the bags of potato chips that were normally looked regular because we're at altitude and the pressure in the cabin was low, they were all puffed out, like they're ready to pop. It
Yeah.
was that was pretty neat. Yeah, I
we
guess
left
it's not
chips in the back
an
of the car
atmosphere.
driving back from Colorado once, and they exploded. Like,
Really?
when we got back
On the
like,
ground.
to Midwest.
How long do you think it's going to be in the future until people like are young enough that they don't realize Titanic was a real thing that happened?
I think there are people right now who don't realize it was a real thing that happened.
Taylor said
That-
it backwards, didn't he? Am I crazy?
No,
I
you
must
said it
have
correctly.
I must have phrased it poorly.
How long?
then.
How long will
Oh,
it be
I
in the
might have
future
heard it.
before there are people who don't believe the Titanic actually happened? They just think
Okay.
of the Kate Winslet movie. I think there are people right now, like if Jimmy Kimmel went out on the street and like phrased it correctly, he'd find like 30% of people aren't aware that in what it was in 1909 or whatever that there was actually a big fucking boat called the Titanic that went down and hundreds of people drowned.
That's a funny conspiracy that I hope is out there. I'm going to look for it. Is people who don't believe the Titanic happened. I bet those are people out there. If people believe the flat Earth is real, I saw a conspiracy where conspiracy theorists who were into like moon landing shit and all that were saying stuff like the entirety of the flat Earth conspiracy is meant to make us look ridiculous. It's all fake. All those people running that site are grifters, and they're inside men with the government, meaning to paint all conspiracy theorists as a crazy person. And it's like, you're not helping your case.
Who said that? Alex Jones?
It was some random
Oh,
comment.
okay.
No. If it was Alex Jones, you best believe I'd be pulling that voice out.
I know what I was thinking.
Hey.
Dude, there's clips of me on this show like laughing along with like a joke about the Titanic, like, haha, I know a couple scenes from that. I saw
Damn.
a good deal of that on TV.
Yeah. Titanic's a pretty good movie, I guess. I mean, I never went back to it after. I mean, it's been 20 years since I've seen it.
It
but-
was a technical marvel. That was the part
Mm.
that I enjoyed about it.
Oh yeah.
They had
What do you
just
mean?
figured out how to render water like in CGI, and it looked like water. And by the way, I'm really particular about my water. It's almost like faces to me. Like I always spot unrealistic looking waves. Or
I thought it was real.
No. And they used a rendering farm built on these Deck Alphas using Linux, which was this like homemade computer I had in my basement at the time. And I'm like, they use computers just like mine to make Titanic.
I need to break into the industry.
I remember Perfect Storm. That had incredible CGI. I think that was the first time I'd seen really good CGI water. That's a true story. If you haven't seen it, of those fishermen who died in a storm. Spoiler.
Was Star Wars the first?
It's a true story, kinda. Like what we know is fishermen got stuck in a hurricane, right? So then there's a 2-hour long movie on like how it went down, all these personal relationships, acts of bravery. None of this is verified. The boat didn't come back. That's what we know. Everything else is bullshit.
I'm going to make one where aliens get them, and I'm going to say it's a true story.
Yeah, right. It could have been.
Yeah.
We
didn't find them.
If the Revenant can be true, so can that.
Revenant is true.
Send me that thing on YouTube. Somebody already took care of it.
While we're doing a request for movies, I've been looking for Titanic 2 from Asylum Films. I've been looking for a thing of that. If anybody knows where I can watch Titanic 2 at, let me know.
Titanic 2?
There's a Titanic 2?
How do you do a sequel to a boat that sank?
Well, what they did is it was the 100th anniversary of the Titanic, and they made another one.
Worst movie ever.
I was hearing something about that on the news, how they're doing like a cruise or something like that around there.
It's a big luxury liner.
I don't know.
Seriously, dude, if you wanted to make a killing, I mean, if you had the money, you make a cruise liner. It's literally the biggest in the world. You make the new biggest cruise liner in the world. You call it the Titanic. And you make it do the journey that the original Titanic did. What was it? It was like from
England to New York, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. You put it on that. That's the trip it makes. Do it. It would be awesome.
Wait, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was reading on the news a couple of days ago on like some website. It was like Yahoo or something like that, and they're saying how because 2012 was going to be the 100th anniversary, I believe, for the Titanic sinking. They're doing something like that. I mean, I could have read it wrong. I just skimmed right through it, but seems like they might be doing that for a select group of people or something like that. Some people are protesting it or something.
Let's start with the Titanic too, because I think that's interesting. And I've been calling for this since the Titanic movie came out. I was like, I hope somebody is on top of this, because I'm going to tell you right now, if they made a Titanic 2, and first of all, I haven't looked into this too much, but I'm assuming they're going to make the same voyage, right?
I have no clue. I'm looking at the pictures right now. They're almost building it identically.
What the hell is Titanic 2?
They're rebuilding the Titanic.
Is this a sequel to the?
It's not a movie. It's a boat.
Because like the fucking boat sank. Oh, okay. I thought they were making another movie.
I was like, yeah, I don't get the plot.
They make another movie.
Coming to a theater near you. Titanic 2. That's right. The ship's back and angry.
Right. It's the Titanic 2, The Haunting, and there's just like a bunch of ghosts
you guys
underwater.
are making fun of this, but they did.
Don't worry, Leonardo DiCaprio's still dead.
The Titanic had like jet propellers and stuff.
Okay, if you guys are actually talking about the boat recreation, I know something about that. My parents bought a ticket for the first ride.
Sweet. All right. That's awesome. See, that's why we bring you onto things like this. Because, people talk about me making a lot of money or like Woody making a lot of money. When Mr. I Try Hard steps on board, me and Woody be like, yeah, that microphone that we got, that's really cool. Mr. Try Hard's like, yeah, actually, I own that company. The microphone company. Yeah, I made that just for you guys. You like that? Hey, do me a favor, Woody. Tap it twice, and it's going to say your name. I had that programmed in.
Woody.
Wow. No, it's not like that. It wasn't that expensive. It was just one of those, like, get there first kind of deals. But,
bullshit.
Bullshit. Whatever.
So first of all, we both know that they didn't just say, hey, who wants a ticket? Anybody?
Can I interrupt you, Kyle?
Please.
So before Mr. I Try Hard agreed to be a guest, he said, that's fine, just don't talk about my private life. I was like, dude, no problem.
Dude. No, but it's okay. It's okay, because I brought this up. It's fine.
Hey, I didn't agree to any of that. I didn't agree to I was 30 minutes late to this thing. I'm just saying.
You were an hour late.
40 minutes tops.
So they're actually they're going to build another one?
This is just on this is on the news article. Palmer, a mining tycoon, estimated worth of $5.2 billion, according to BRW magazine, wouldn't announce ticket prices, but said prospective passengers are offering up to $1 million to get on board.
No, that's bullshit. No, please don't say that. That's bullshit. No,
it might be true, but in the same way that it's true that like some first iPhone customers are paying $6,000 for them.
Mm-hmm. I paid retail for mine.
I think they're recreating the exact same voyage, aren't they, or something like that?
But what's the big deal? Isn't the Titanic just absolutely trounced by modern cruise liners?
So
it's just like the historic thing.
It must be. So most of my cruises, all of my cruises, I think, are on Disney ships, and Disney has two classes: little ones and big ones. We prefer the little one. The little one is bigger than the Titanic.
Right.
Okay.
And I've done the big one too, and the big ships now, like what is it like?
The Allure of the Seas is the one that I'm looking on this.
Isle of the Seas, maybe?
Allure? Isle, maybe it is the Isle.
Maybe you have it right. I'm not sure. Maybe they're all similarly named. But those really big ones are like 4 Titanics or something ridiculous like that.
But here's the thing, Woody. If you had a choice to float on like Island of the Seas or a replica of the Titanic, which one would you rather go on?
The one that's less crowded.
If you could bring your wife, Woody, have her on the tip of that boat and have her do the whole angel thing pose thing.
Yeah,
that would be epic.
Line waiting up there at the front, dude.
Here's my thing. I bet they've learned a lot about making good cruise ships since the Titanic. When was that? Like 1912, 1940, something like
1912.
that? 1912. Really? Did I get that right?
Yes.
Whoa.
Holy smokes. So anyway, like for example, at the front of the Disney ship, there is a pool. And it's only for the crew, and no one's ever there because the crew works like 24/7. It turns out the front of the ship, that place where he did the I'm King of the World thing, is a freaking lousy place to be. It's windy, it's super noisy, it's like wet, it's a really uncomfortable place to hang out. So they make it like crew only on a lot of the modern ships. If you want a similar effect, you do it on like the 9th floor.
Yeah, you go up to the Lido deck and just stand and look over.
Yeah, way up top there. So
you just ruined like all the little girls' dreams at this point. But it's okay.
But yeah, so I hear Titanic 2 and I think like, oh, that's awesome. Like a new Model T. Is that the car you want?
Maybe they're all going to dress up in like the 1912 type of clothing and reenact the whole. I don't know.
What about the sinking? Are they going to reenact that?
Oh, that would be.
Maybe.
That would.
Like the
what
big
if that's
joke
the
will be about the
surprise?
rafts.
What if that's the surprise? Oh, by the way, guys, we're doing it for real.
Little tugboats over there. They're pulling the iceberg right in front of us.
I can just imagine the whole unsinkable, not enough safety raft joke's going to be.
You're like, son of a bitch! I wondered why James Cameron were over there with that camera.
Reality TV going.
I'd want to be on the ship with stabilizers. I'd say that. I want to be on that.
Yeah, that's a big deal, actually.
Stabilizers are huge. If people don't know, stabilizers stop it from rocking so much so you don't get seasick.
Boat talk.
By the way, I'm curious, Woody, you've been on cruises before, right? So how did you sleep? Because some people either sleep like babies and it's like the best sleep they've ever had, or they just can't sleep and they get nauseous all the time.
It's not the motion of the ocean that gives me any kind of sleep trouble. It's the fact that 4 people are crammed into a tiny little room.
It's small, yeah, it is.
Yeah, ship stateroom. We don't stay in like the biggest. I understand though that the better staterooms aren't actually much bigger. I haven't seen them, but anyway, the very good ones are of course huge, but that's not what I'm talking about. With Colin in there, with Hope in there, with Jackie in there, with me in there, it seems like there's always somebody who like, you know, has to go to the bathroom or wakes up or has some kind of issue or complaint, and that's why I don't sleep that well.
See, I slept very well in there because when I went, I was like 14 or 15 years old, and I slept in the same room my parents had, and I was rocking sideways with the boat, whereas my parents were rocking head to toe, I guess. And it was like they had nausea the whole week while I just slept like a bear. It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, slept like a bear makes a lot of sense. I hadn't even thought about that because babies suck at sleeping.
Yeah, no, they wake up all the time and want milk and shit.
Yeah. Sleep like a baby is a horrible thing.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
bringing knowledge.
Whoever came up with that saying's never had a baby.
Exactly, but sleep like a bear, they're awesome at sleeping.
You know what I was thinking?
Goddamn Canadians are geniuses with this regard.
That can go a lot of wrong ways. The other movie on that, have you seen Dead Calm?
Is that with Nicole Kidman?
Nicole Kidman, yeah.
I've seen it.
Might have seen it. Long time ago, maybe.
That's pretty crazy. That's scary, that one.
It is. That yacht is amazing.
It's got Billy Zane in it, that's hilarious.
Scary. Yeah.
Billy Zane.
I don't.
Who was also in Titanic, another movie that you shouldn't watch if you're going on a long boat ride.
Yeah, what's the movie that's scariest for what you do? Like, probably not Jaws. That seems too stereotypical. Like, what makes you like, ugh, I shouldn't be doing this?
More the books, really. Like, you hear about, not so much movies to me. I'm very skeptical of what I watch. I'm always, like, looking at how they make it, like, what stunts were.
Elena's dissecting movies and trying to make them herself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like.
So I can't watch a movie and relax and really enjoy it. So I don't watch a lot of movies. I read. So that's what scares me when you hear like true stories about.
One that springs to mind would be Captain Phillips, but I just came away from that just thinking that is just America having a big wank about how big their navy is. I just thought that was the biggest load of shit.
I don't know Captain Phillips, but I'm sure our Navy is every bit of what it said it was.
Tell them what the two biggest air forces in the world are, Woody.
The United States Air Force and the United States Navy.
Goddamn right.
We won twice, or did we win so hard that we lost too?
No, we have the top two biggest air forces in the world.
Yes.
The Air Force has one of them, and the Navy has the other. No other country has the Air Force our Navy alone has.
We had some bloke come on our boat. He was from Texas.
Yeah.
And he said something like, he was really cool for ages, and then he started talking about guns, and we were like, oh my God.
Here we go.
And then he said something like, oh, we've got the Texas, or what's the state there? Anyway, it's got like the 7th largest standing army in the world. And then I was like, oh, that's pretty impressive.
I didn't know.
Actually,
in all
that
fairness,
sounds like something a Texan would say. Just vague allusions to something.
He's probably talking about some militia groups or something. There's no telling. Texas is almost another country. In the same way that California is another country.
Well, it's huge.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah, there was one movie, I don't remember it, but if you adjusted it, it was like most of the fucking population went. It was like 2/3 of the people went and watched that fucking movie.
Titanic was a really big one.
Yeah, but back then it was like, what are you going to do other than go to the movies? Like, oh, Mary Sue, do you want to sit around and wait for, typhoid to get us, or do you want to go to the films while we can?
Titanic, man.
Polio night.
You gotta listen. Titanic.
Wheelchairs get in free.
How old were you guys in like 92? Were you born?
92.
92?
Yeah, 99.
Was Titanic 99?
Yeah, Titanic was 99.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Were you guys like relevant? Were you like 6? Like
I was 21.
I was like in 99. I was like 15 or something.
Oh,
14,
okay. So you're all right. So you have
I was old enough to jerk off to the titties.
So the thing about Titanic, if your listeners are younger, maybe that thing dominated like every form of media for like 6 months.
It was the first film that I remember hearing about people going to watch that second time. They're like, yeah, I've seen it. You want to go again? Yeah, let's all go again.
Dude, I wasn't interested in Titanic. I saw it like 3 months after it came out. There aren't many movies that play. Like 6 months later, that song, whatever, like, how does it?
Yeah,
that's the one. Oh, my Lord. You sang that so well, I'm waiting for the copyright claim. So, yeah, that song 6 months later was still like #1 on the charts, playing on the radio back when people listened to radio in their cars all the time. It was just nonstop advertising for the movie. I wonder if that's the adjusted all-time best-selling movie.
It's got to be in the
we're
top.
about to find out.
2 or 3.
The sound. I think
Adjusted
I've done that before. And
all-time
the Sound of
box
Music
office.
is #1. I think.
Yeah. Gone with the Wind is one.
I
Gone
knew
with
it.
the
That's
Wind.
the one.
That's the one.
Yeah. So during the time,
It's
of Gone
not
with
as
the Wind,
outrageous as you made it seem, though.
But during the time of Gone with the Wind, apparently,
What's number 2?
like, the
Star Wars.
percentage of Americans who went to the movies was much, much higher. But yeah, Star Wars is already number 2. This movie's going to take that over.
Sound of Music is 3.
Movies being released back then. It wasn't like, oh, it's this weekend in November, so 11 movies come out. It was just like, oh, well, the spring movies here, and then like, oh, there's a couple more. A month or two from now.
This is missing Jurassic
Wizard
World.
of
I
Oz
think.
had to make a ton of money, right? That's gotta be up there.
It's got to be up there. Good call.
Wizard of so Jurassic World's not on this.
How much did Jurassic World make?
I thought it just broke the record. Oh, there it is. It's 28th because it's adjusted. What am I saying?